Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully checked our validation. So if you make that things as empty, so if you put that as empty, then it will be display some of the validation. That means that your email field is required and password field is required, right? So we successfully complete that part. That means we successfully complete our this validation. So right now in this video, I want to work in our register page. So now if you go to our register, into the register page, right now I want to complete our this register part. Okay, that means here I also have to define that condition when this register will be complete, where it should be redirected. Okay, we also it should be displayed on the message. So every part is step by step I have to work. So if you want to do that work, I think you already know that main core things that we did in our logging page, so it will be just like that same, right? So for doing this, first of all we have to find out our register page. That means here we have to go, so that is in our component, right? So into the component, in our auth, I have already created one of the view file, that is our register view. So now open it, and now I just open with the PHP. Perfect. So now here, first of all, that is our form. So into the form, what exactly we did in our logging. So we just copy everything from here. You can see into the logging, we just define our submit, prevent, and the logging. So we have to do the same things first. So here I define as a form. Into the form, I just simply first of all define the class, and I just name it as a class as a user. And now here, first of all, I want to define one of the submit forms. So here I just simply define as a @submit. Right, @submit, and also I want to prevent it. So I think you already know about it, why I'm using the prevent. Prevent means it should be not loading that page. So for the reasons here, I define as a submit will be prevent. That means when it should be submit, it should be not loading that page. And here I just want to define our methods. So for the sign up, I have already defined one of the method. If you go to our API, into the API, you can see I have already created one of the method as a sign up, right? So now I want to access that sign up. So I just copy it, and here I just simply define that sign up. Perfect. So after that also we have to define that condition, like when this sign up portion will be completed, where exactly it should be redirected. So we did the same things in our logging. So now go to that logging, and right now there is a script. So I just simply copy all that script from here. Okay, I just simply copy it. Now go to our register. That means in our register page, that is our scripts. I just simply paste it, and into the register it will be just like that same. First of all, there is our created method. Into the created method, it will be checked that user is logging or not, and then it will be pushed that to home, so they have nothing to change. And also there is our data method. So it's also here we have to define all that our field. So now right now for the like here all that our field. So here our field name as a there is an input field. So we have to define actually first of all that our field name, right? So here I want to define all that our field name first. So if you want to define that field name, what exactly you have to do, I think you already know about it. You have to define that v model, right? So we did the same things for our logging. If you go to that all logging, you can see into the logging we did that work. Like with the v model, I just defined that form name. So now I also want to do the same things for here. So here I just define as a v model, and then the form. Okay, form, and then form name. I just simply define that as a name. Okay, so that should be our form name. And also there is another one, but I just copy it. And this one for the email. So here after that I just simply define as an email. That means this actually be form name. I just define as email. That is would be as a password. So I just simply define as a password. Okay, I just simply define as a password, and also there is a confirm password. So here I want to define that as a confirm password. So if you want to display that confirm password, you have to define that as a form, and then you have to define as a password confirmation. Password _ confirmation. So I just simply define as a password confirmation. Perfect. So they have all that our field. That is our form. With this form I just define as a password confirmation. With the form I define as a password, and then form the email, and the form the name. So now friend, we have to add all that our field, right? So we have to add all that our field. So in our data, there is our form, there is email. So first of all, I want to define another one. So better I define another one will be as a name, right? So here will be name. I just put the things as a null. And also after that there is the email and the password. So I just also put that null. So that is our name, email, and the password. And another one is a password confirmation. So here also we have to add it. So here I also want to add it. So that is actually the password confirmation is rated by the another way. So here I just simply define as a confirm. Okay, confirm underscore password. So I just simply define as a confirm underscore password. And also I make the things as a null. So I just simply define as a null. Perfect. And then the error will be the same. And then our method. So right now our method. So I have already defined that method. So our method right now as a sign up, right? So I just simply copy that sign up. So here I just simply paste that sign up. So here also I have discussed each and every line with you. There is a exeus and there is a post and where exactly it should be redirected in our API auth. And then I have defined our this one. That means here if you go to our API, so it should be that is our sign up. So I just simply copy it. So now in our register here I define as a API auth and then our sign up. Okay, sign up this form, and then it should be just like that same. Here which should be this redirected to our response after logging into the response logging with our reference. Okay, and then it should be run our toaster. That means it should be display our sign successfully, and after that it should be redirected to push our home page. Perfect. Here we don't need to do anything. And the error here I don't need to display it. So if you want to delete it, then you can remove it from here. So right now I have already discussed about that things in our logging, right? So here I don't need this. I just simply remove it. Perfect. I just remove it. And also here if you want to display that validation, so in our logging I have already discussed about that things with you. With this you can display your validation. Okay, so you can actually access it. So right now it's okay with me. So I think you already know about it. If you want to access, if you want to display some of the validation, then you can validate it with this. Okay, so now I just want to make the things like that way. And here that is all that our field. That is our register. That is our password. Now let's check this out, friend. So now I just want to do, I just click on the save all. Okay, I just click on the save all. So now it's perfect. So they have no error. So now if you go to our page, click on the refresh. Okay friend, right now I want to create new user for our project. So here I name it as a Kazi. Okay, I just name it as a Kazi as a full name. I just define as a kazi@gmail.com. Okay, I just simply define as a kazi@gmail.com, and here I put that password. So we have already checked everything with our Postman, right? So now we are actually using it again. So I just define as a Kazi 1 2 3 5. So also here I define as a Kazi 1 2 3 4 5. Perfect. So now if you click on the register, yes, now you can see friend, I am successfully signed in, and when it should be signed in, then it should be redirected to you the home page. Perfect. And if you go to the database, now click on the browse. Now you can see our Kazi is perfectly added. There is an email address and there is a password is also defined. There is a name is also defined. There is an ID. So friend, I think you can well understand about it. As I told you before, we have already checked every functionality with our Postman, right? So now we are applying it in our page. So that means in our page, without loading that page, we successfully complete our sign up portion. So friend, I think every line should be very much clear to you right now on here. So we did the same things that we did in our logging page. So when it should be hit in our sign up method into the sign up method. When it should be done, then it should be displayed this our toaster. That means this toaster will be fired. Okay, then it should be displayed this message. Now you can see it's now showing our sign in successfully. And when it should be signed in successfully, then it should be redirected to our this route as the post name as a home. So now it's perfectly redirected to our home page. So right now it's perfectly redirected to our home page, and now we are logged in. And also here I defined that condition that we did in our logging place, and here you can see we just defined, we checked it. So when this user is already logged in, then it's not redirected to any other pages, then it should be redirected to push this user to the home page. Like right now, if you want to access our logging, and you can see you cannot access that logging, and if you want to access the register, now you can see now you cannot also access that register. So friend, I think it's very much clear to you right now. So we successfully complete our sign up portion. And as I told you before, if you want to define some of the validation for every field, then you can also define that validation that I did in our logging. So with this, you can define that validation. Okay. So here you have to do just simple things. You have to define that, copy it and go to the register. And here, if you want to make that field as a required, then you have to defining it as a errors, and the email, you have to define that name on here, the name and the fast array. Okay, so with this you can actually define your these validations. So right now it's okay with me. I think you already know about it, how the things exactly I did in our logging page. So if you want to use it, then you can use it in our this register page as well. So friend, we successfully complete our sign up portions, right? So in our next video, I want to discuss about that logout. That means right now I am already logged in. So if you want to log out, then how can log out from to this page? In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.